I had one of those moments today because Dennis came in. He had his little notepad, and he was like, he obviously hosts the Panthers Playbook podcast with Chris Lee, WRAL reporter, and he said a stat that I knew all of the pieces individually, but when you put them all together, it's a little dramatic. So, Dennis, why don't you present it in the same way you presented it earlier today?
Since 2021, that offseason, this is when Scott Fitterer became general manager, by the way. The Carolina Panthers have used 11 draft picks and DJ Moore on one position, that one position being quarterback. 11 draft picks.
11.
That's more than a full draft class.
I felt like that needed to be yelled. 11.
I mean, that's actually like a hefty draft class. Like, well, wow, we had 11 picks. You could really stockpile a team for the future. 11 draft picks. I'll go through it here real fast.
I just want to be clear on one thing.
Yes.
There's 7 rounds in a draft.
Exactly.
11, and we're not talking. Okay, actually, now you go through them. Sorry.
Okay, and again, these aren't like just a bunch of like 6th and 7th round picks that we're giving up here. So, for example, Sam Darnold in 2021, there was a 6th round pick in 2021. But they also gave up 2022 2nd-round picks and 2022 4th-round pick. So 3 picks for Sam Darnold. The next year, they gave up a 2022 4th-round pick and a 2023 3rd-round pick to move up to take Matt Corrall.
Now, you don't have to like have a notebook out and be writing all these down. Just note the level of pick that these are. They're not like 7th-round pick swaps.
Exactly. So we're up to 5 picks. Now, Baker Mayfield, the trade for him with the Cleveland Browns, was a 2024 5th-round pick. So some of these picks haven't even happened yet. And then for Bryce Young, a 23 first, a 23 second, a 24 first, and a 25 second, and DJ Moore. So some of these picks haven't even been made yet. There are 3 picks that the Carolina Panthers, these are 3 future picks. So, for example, we have a first, a second, and a 5th still in the future that need to be picked. It's insane. So we're talking 2 first-round picks, 3 second-round picks, a 3rd, 2 4ths, a 5th, and a 6th, plus DJ Moore.
So
for one position.
So here,
that guy being Bryce Young now.
Here is where we stand. Just to break all that down into like basic terms. Mm-hmm. Essentially 2 full drafts.
Close to it. It's 12 players.
If you count DJ Moore as a first-round pick, which I actually think is underselling it.
He was a first-round pick.
Then that is 2 firsts, 3 seconds, a 3rd.
3 firsts.
It'd be 3 firsts. So we're looking at 2.5 full drafts on quarterbacks since Scott Fitterer was given the reins. And that's where we stand. Bryce Young.
If you equate DJ Moore to being a first-round pick, that'd be 3 firsts, 3 seconds, a 3rd, 2 4ths, a 5th, and a 6th.
I'd say that. I mean, that might be closer to 2.7, 2.8 drafts worth of value. If you're looking at value of picks, like the old Jimmy Johnson thing, where there's like 112 points for a first-round pick, whatever it is.
Yeah, it's the value of what you equate to a certain pick.
It's a lot, and
that's malpractice in my opinion.
And to me, Bryce Young is I don't mind Bryce Young as number 1 overall pick. He was my number 1 overall pick before the draft for a team. Like my quarterback rankings, I had him number 1. But not like if you're going to spend 2.7 drafts on a position, you should walk away with the Trevor Lawrence, the Caleb Williams, the Andrew Luck. Like you should get the generational prospect that everybody knew was going to be the number 1 pick from the moment they were 17 years old. You shouldn't again, Bryce Young was a very good number 1 pick in that draft. You shouldn't settle for like the down year of quarterbacks draft. That's rough. We'll put it that way.
And here's the thing as well, is that because of all this, it has to work with Bryce Young. It just has to.
Jobs will be lost by the bundle if it doesn't.
Otherwise, this is like one of the biggest GM failures ever if Bryce Young doesn't work out. You'll look back and say, wow, Scott Fitterer and those guys spent that many picks for one position and still couldn't get it right?
If they don't crawl out of the basement here and it's the number 1 overall pick, it might be the worst trade in the history of sports.
Well, just overall.
I'm probably not. That might be a little dramatic. The Herschel Walker trade might have something to say about that. But the Trey Lance trade becomes squarely in focus.
Yeah.
especially if Jalen Carter continues to ball out.